welcome to Northwest Scale and this new video series that I'm going to call Fusion 360 for Model Builders. I'm going to assume that you have already played around with Fusion a little bit, so you know what a sketch is and what an extrude is, maybe even a revolve, but we'll get to some of those tools later if need be. But the biggest thing, we're just going to, do some basic design practices here that are positive, um, that you really should be trying to do all the time. For one, this is going to come in real handy. We're going to come up here to, you can go to the Modify menu and go down to Change Parameters, or just come up here to this FX if you have that there. And we're going to add some parameters here. Let's start, how about, let's go with outer diameter, and make sure that you don't have any spaces there. I'm going to leave the units in millimeters. Yes, I'm in the US. I do everything in Imperial, but for design in CAD, I prefer to use metric, as weird as it may be. And we're going to start off with, let's say, 20 millimeters. All right, we're going to go ahead and hit OK. Let's go with inner diameter. And how about we set that at 16? Let's go. Actually, let's do it this way. Thickness rim, because we are probably going to end up. We're going to kind of pattern this kind of what you would use for a wheel, perhaps. We're going to go ahead and set that to, let's see, 12. I roughly, in my head, for 1/24th, 1/25th scale, I kind of designed the two together. 1 millimeter equals 1 inch ish. So I'm going to hit OK there, and we'll add one more. Let's add a couple more here. Let's go center, or actually thickness center. I always capitalize, and it does make a difference in here, but I always capitalize these just for visual. And we're going to set this at 3 millimeters, just for giggles. Let's add one more pattern number. And here, we're going no units, because this is not going to be a measurement. It's going to be just an expression. And we're going to go with 5, because, 5 lug nuts. Okay, we're going to go ahead and hit OK. Let's go ahead and start at the front. And we're going to go ahead and create a new sketch. And we're going to do it on this plane. And we're going to come up here. We're going to click circle. We're going to start right dead center. And instead of typing in a value, we are going to start typing out. And there's outer diameter, so click on that. And that gives us that diameter. We can zoom in here. Let's go ahead and create another one. And inner diameter. Click on that. And again, right there, kind of, I would keep these, where you can actually read these. And you can see a little FX there. That tells us that this is a parameter. And that right there tells us that that's a diameter and not a radius. And so we can go ahead and finish that sketch. Let's go ahead and click on extrude, come over here. And again, same thing. Let's go thickness. And then we can choose, and this one is going to be thickness rim. And that is, let's do symmetrical, and let's do whole length. Okay, and as you can see, that splits it from the center line each direction. And we'll hit OK. And let's go ahead and extrude this, and that's wanting to extrude back. But we want to extrude this direction. So we're going to go ahead and type negative thick, and then go thickness center. And that negative is going to bring it this direction. And you can just delete that to have it go the other way. Join is perfectly acceptable. There we go. And you know what? If we want to do this a little more, and we can, mix and match. Let's start with that there as if we were going to create a hub. And let's just go 3 millimeters there. We're going to do it like that. And then we're going to go hit on that and extract, and we're gonna reuse that same thickness of the center, and that's going to bring it out, and that's fine there. And we'll come back over here. Let's make another one on there. Zoom in some more, and this time we're gonna let's try to pretend like we're making a lug nut here. All right. So we're gonna go right there. It doesn't matter. It's kind of a random size. And we're going to hit that, and let's just set that at 2 millimeters. All right, now we want to pattern that. So we'll come up here to create, go down to pattern, circular pattern. And so come over here. You have bodies, which is the entire body, which you're not going to pattern that. Faces, you can choose just a face to pattern, but that's going to be kind of silly on something like this. Components, which we'll get into components later eventually. But we want to go features, and you can highlight this feature here like that, or you can come down here and click on it there and select that one. Axis, you can hit this. You can try to hit that one right there, which obviously, as you can see, we've done it there, but that doesn't. You just need a round spot that's based around the center. So you can use this, you can use this, you can use that. Any of these sketch lines, we'll just use that one. And see where that says quantity, so it's 5. But what we're going to do is type in pat for pattern, and there it is, pattern number. All right, so there we have a rudimentary wheel there, and we can come up. Let's go ahead and bring this over here. We'll come up here. We'll bring up the parameters again, and you can go to where it says pattern number. Highlight that. You can change that to 3. Enter, and as you can see, it does 3. You can outer diameter. You can change that to 28. Inner diameter. We can change that to 10. We can, the thickness, you can change, let's change this inner diameter back to 16 and outer back to 20. Pattern number, we can take up to 8, like that. And I'll show you how to create actual lug nuts in a later tutorial. Or just, general nuts, screws, and whatnot, which would be very helpful for your personal projects. Yes, I do sell my own, parts on here, and generally stuff that I design. You'll be able to anything that I'm doing as a tutorial that comes with the finished part. Like if I show you how to design a full wheel, I will actually make that wheel available for download, not as an STL, not as a printable STL, but as an S3D Fusion file so that you can import it into your own copy of Fusion, and you can actually go through and see all the steps, make changes or whatever, and you can then, export it as an STL and 3D print it yourself. Anything that I create in here will not be offered up for sale. It will be offered up free of charge. But that'll pretty much do it for the basics. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful afternoon.